Hello, EQ pointers. This is Kenny, aka Punder. Before we get to the introduction for this week's episode, I wanted to talk about Absco and their gender. I decided to create Absco as a non-binary character because I didn't want to play out the romantic tropes of binary love that happen in typical tabletop RPG stories. I wanted to explore a story that is inclusive and representative of members of the extended queer community. As a cisgender person who has defined himself with masculine pronouns, I've not been the best ally. In playing Absco, I represented non-binary folks by thoughtlessly misgendering them and not correcting fellow cast members when they misgender them. The worst part is that in doing so, I undermine my intention of representation. I want to personally apologize to all of our listeners and followers. Going forward, I will be more vigilant and correct my fellow cast members if or when Absco is misgendered. Additionally, this has sparked a discussion among us that we feel is appropriate to be recorded and released to you all. Look for that to be released as a standalone featurette. I recognize that when we put our voices out there for the community members and non-community members alike, we are claiming leadership through playing our characters. I need to be a better leader than I have been, and we need to serve our community better. We've discussed this as a cast and will work to be the diverse representation that you all deserve. Thank you all for being listeners. I hope you stick with us, and I invite you to listen to our next episode, Foreign Contaminant.
Hello, and welcome back to Experience Points, your favorite Starfinder real play podcast. I'm your friendly neighborhood GM, Miyu.
I'm Kelric. I play Angus.
I'm Taylor. I play Phaedra.
I'm Megan. I play Kira.
I'm Punder, and I play Absco.
And today we have a very special recap from the lovely George. George Log, supplemental. Stardate, Wednesday. After getting augmented, the adventure hookers donned my newest creation, their custom uniforms. Took us out to a night at the club. Heard all about some drama that happened between Absco and their mother. Sounded pretty fun. There was much dancing, drunk texting, shenanigans, including a ding-dong ditch on Absco's parents. We even tried to help Angus flirt. We appear to be heading out to God's nowhere now. Spirit of adventure and exploration seems to be strong with this group. I suppose we shall see where this goes. Exciting. George, signing off to cook bacon.
I love him.
Absco has punched in coordinates to somewhere and has just activated the drift engines. And you have popped into drift space. Kira still doesn't know where you're going.
Can I
I think any of us really do.
use my science station to do a computers check to see where the heck we're going?
Go ahead.
Okay. I got an 11. I have +9 to computers. So,
Angus is hungover.
yeah.
Angus's jaw is on the floor that we just punched in coordinates and now we're going. And
Well-
he's like trying to punch in the commands, but he's just getting flustered.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot to turn on the AI assistant to give me the +2 bonus even from our computer. Like, I was just like, doot, doot, doot. Oh, head hurts. Doot, doot, doot.
Beep boop.
Why are the dudes so loud?
Yeah, pretty much.
Kira's got her head out the door wearing her fur-lined robe.
Yeah, she's gonna go and sit in her captain's chair, and she's just gonna sit there like, this is my life. This is what we're doing.
It feels like such a scene from Barbarella with the description of the robe. And I'm just walking out of bed, putting on a robe, and sitting in my captain's chair.
Yeah, legs crossed, maybe a glass of wine.
And how much did I date myself by saying Barbarella, of all things? Many crickets.
No comment.
You see Absco kind of like just clutching onto like the navigation array, just like holding on for dear life.
Nice smooth drift jump, and you are in the drift, cruising.
Captain, I was wondering if you have anything to help with the hangovers. Please say you have something to help with a hangover. Please.
I don't. But I think that we could, maybe if you just go and lay down, maybe that might help. So you go do what you do.
You know, I was honestly expecting like some like backwoods like farmer remedy for
I was
a
expecting
hangover that.
I was expecting a mystic ability to be able to remove condition is what I was expecting.
A bit of the hair of the Skitter Manor that bit you.
Pretty much.
I mean, I don't have much in. I'm not very versed in hangovers, but I also don't want to waste my spells on a hangover.
We're in drift space for who knows how long.
Exactly, who knows how long.
Fair. I'm gonna head back to my bunk, get some water, steal some of George's bacon, and go to lay down.
George slaps you on the back. How you doing, buddy?
I just smile really wanly, and I'm just like, it's good to see you, George, but I'm hungover, and I need to rest.
Oh, I got just the thing for that. Hold on. He starts just mixing up a bunch of stuff into a glass, and then hands it to you. This dark red, thick-looking drink.
Chug it, because I just don't even care. Like my
Give me a fort save.
I just don't even care. That would be a 12.
You chug it back, and instantly, your body begins to react. You turn around, and you get to the door before you lose your lunch.
Well, all right. George, was it supposed to do that?
George stands there smiling. Yup, supposed to do that.
Well,
You'll feel better in about 10 minutes.
okay, I'm gonna go lay down for those 10 minutes. I'm assuming since you knew this would happen that you're prepared to take care of the mess. And to just walk away, because I'm so You didn't warn me? Guess you wanted to deal with it. Thanks.
Wow.
10 minutes later, you do feel better.
Oh, well then I would head back to the kitchen. And if it hasn't been cleaned up, I would say, you know what?
George is there cleaning it up, putting the finishing spotless touch on there.
Yeah, George, thank you so much. I'm sorry I was not more gracious about this. I was feeling real low. That's amazing. Can you put that in? What's the recipe? I'll put that in the computer so we all have it for later.
Oh, yeah. I'll give you, George, a special hangover cure recipe. Yeah.
Sweet. And I'll just go back up on deck and get back to work. Can I try and do the computer check again?
Go ahead.
Feeling human?
I'll give you a fresh check on the computer now that you're feeling human.
26.
26.
Plus 2 because of the ship, so 28.
You are heading well beyond the packed worlds. There's a random drift beacon that apparently Absco picked up.
Okay.
867-5309.
There you go. And as you're checking the records and things, it doesn't appear that anyone has actually ever been here.
Oh.
Or at least nobody from the packed worlds. There's no record. So, yeah.
Is anyone going to tell me where we're going?
It should take about 4 days in drift for you to get there.
As I start getting all of this, I want to just start putting it up on the main screen so everyone can see it, because I don't even know if Absco knows where he's going.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, Absco's still staring forward, like hands on the console, and like if anyone asks them where we're going, they say, away.
Awesome. So yeah, any details I get, I just put up on screen so everyone can see them, and I just leave them there. You know, with a little countdown for how long it'll take us to get there, so we all just can look.
There you go.
Watch and wait.
You've got 4 days to think about what you've done. So what are y'all doing for these 4 days? Apparently everyone's just cool with Absco just plotting a course and going.
Well, you said there's
At this
nothing we
point, we
can
don't
do
have a
once we're
choice.
in the drift, so it's really, there's nothing for us to do for it. So,
That's true.
Yeah, I think that Kira is going to spend a lot of her time praying to Desna about the snow lady.
mhm.
Trying to figure out who she is or if she has any.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Do you have any divination, anything in your class, or are you just praying to her, hoping she gives you an answer?
Praying to her and really trying to think back.
Okay. All right, give me a mysticism check.
Natural 20.
Plus 10 for a 30. Nice. Okay.
Wow.
Nice.
Noted. I'm keeping that in mind.
Just wow.
Okay. As you're praying to Desna, and you're trying to picture Desna, as though she's there and you're talking to her, she keeps morphing into the snow lady in your mind. Like, just you feel like you start off talking to Desna, and before you know it, you're talking to the snow lady.
Well, that's creepy.
And it just keeps happening. Like, it's like you can't quite focus on Desna, and instead you keep thinking about this snow lady.
It's unnerving.
A little bit. But you almost feel as if the snow lady is listening to you.
Rude. What an eavesdropper.
Just a weird thing. Like, as you begin talking to her, like you feel that this being, this entity is listening to you. So what's anyone else doing for 4 days?
Phaedra will spend her time maybe searching through the ship's databanks. Maybe there's any information on dragons or people affiliated with dragons, people that could turn into dragons.
Cultists! Wait.
Okay. Let's see what would be best for that.
And don't forget, we want to work on the maze cores for about 4 hours each day.
Okay. You know what? Yeah, go ahead and roll computers. See what you can dig up. 19. You have scoured the computer. The only thing you can find about dragons is a few mentions of them being hazards sometimes in the drift to smaller craft.
Are we considered smaller craft?
No, we're talking like single person
Okay. Ooh, okay.
craft. I mean, you'd probably get dinged up if you collided with a dragon, enough to mess up the ship, but not enough to knock you out of drift and leave you knows where.
All right.
Yeah,
So,
that was it for me.
Absco?
After Absco is certain that they are going away, they kind of loosen their grip on their console and they adjust to where they are. They look and they see that they're still wearing the Adventure Hooker's uniform. And they look around at the people on the bridge and they're like, I'm going to go freshen up. And they go to their quarters and they stay in there pretty much for the rest of the voyage.
okay.
You are approaching the point where you're going to drop out of the drift.
Well, before we do that,
4 days later. Go ahead.
During
You got
that
more?
4 days' time, I would like to sit down with Phaedra and Kira's spear and see what we can do to introduce the maze core into the spear.
Okay. Maze core time.
Yeah. What do we need to do to put some sort of, transformation thing on Megan's spear? Either so that Megan has healing on one end and spear on the other, I guess? Or did we want to do laser?
Either one would be okay. I feel like just for Kira's character, she would probably want healing.
Okay. So then...
healing with a reach.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think Phaedra, I brought one of the injectors for the Mark 1 health serum things here, and I have a few serums that we can, sort of load into the spear. How do you think we should go about doing this? Because I want the effect to be kind of exciting. Like, I don't want it to be boring for her. So, what do you think?
Well, I imagine that if we were to attach this to one end of the spirit, obviously the opposite end, because if she stabs something with the pointy end, and it's also the healy end, then
Absolutely,
it would
yeah.
heal damage as damage is being done, which doesn't make any sense. But if we have it on the opposite end, like healing with like an extra arm's length.
Oh, what do you think if we bifurcate the spear so that it's in the center, and then you twist, the maze core goes there so that when she twists it and flips, so that she's fighting with the spear side, she twists, and then the stim pack injector on the other side pops out so she can flip and hit with the opposite end to whomever she wants to hit to have the healing go in.
That sounds like a fantastic idea.
Okay. So we'll spend the next couple hours working on that, and I really want it to be this kind of cool looking thing where this spear, much like my axe, starts getting like this pink circuitry since it'll match her cloak. And
Okay.
when she like touches it around the center point where we have the maze core, suddenly all of the circuitry sort of stuff we have like flips, like sort of just shifts over, and so it changes the design, and then the spear tip becomes like a rounded ball, and then on the other side it becomes like this, like a 5-inch long needle shoots out, which is what she uses to stab people with the healing serum, and so it gives her almost like a reach weapon to like gives her a 5-foot difference, so she can be 5 feet away from someone and stab them in the butt or whatever with healing.
Okay. So I don't know for sure if it's raw, and I will look up later if it is. But what I'm going to have you do is decide who is assisting whom in this project. Who wants to be the assistant? This will be engineering roles.
Mine is a +9. I think Phaedra's is higher. It's +10.
For engineering, mine is also +9.
Oh,
Ooh.
my rolls seem to be garbage. So do you want to do it?
Sure.
All right. So
Okay,
we'll-
both of you roll engineering rolls. Absco or Angus's rather is to assist.
Perfect.
Angus with a 23 successfully assists Phaedra, who's 17 becomes a 19 with the assistance.
Awesome.
Okay, so with the 19, you have her spear, and you're having a heck of a time figuring out the whole flip and poke, and it just doesn't seem to be working. You're getting a little bit frustrated with it.
We have 4 days.
Right. When trying to think here.
Yeah. I love how nervous you look, Megan. You're like, am I losing my spear to these
Freak it.
idiots?
No, that's not enough for you to lose. That's not low enough for you to lose your spear.
Cool.
You'll still have a spear. Question is, what did they do to your spear?
Fair.
Okay.
Okay, all of your testing shows that in its current state, it's working quite well.
Mhm.
The problem is that it seems to discharge the healing serum about once every 20 hits.
Oh.
So you've got about a 5% chance of it dispensing healing from the spear end or damaging someone with the
Needle.
currently. You could probably fine tune it.
Yeah. We'll spend. We've committed to 4 hours a day while we're in drift.
Right.
To working on this sort of stuff. So.
Right. So that's just your first go.
Cool.
And then if you want to roll a second
Oh,
one
yeah.
for the next day,
I will
let's get those engineerings.
once again assist.
We're back.
Angus is 18, successfully assists Phaedra's 13, making it 15. I think that's enough to fine tune it, considering the progress you'd already made.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
So yeah, you're there. You get to show off the new spear, the new healing spear design.
Cool. So that took 2 days, and then Absco had asked us to do something for you with another.
I didn't actually. So I was going to be looking for a new weapon, but it never really materialized. So it's fine.
Oh, 'cause we
And now
just
you're
left.
heading to maybe
Who
they have
knows where?
weapons there.
And Triune knows where.
All right. So anything else y'all want to have done before you exit the drift?
I don't know if this would work or not, but I do have a pair of binders that we could attach to your gun.
Are they full of women?
I love that took a second. Oh my god, thank you.
Sorry. Okay.
No, that took a second. That
It
was
did.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Like for just a second, it was like what, and then it hit, and that was hilarious.
Yeah. Nicely done, babe.
Okay. So what do you? I'm sorry. So basically, you have handcuffs.
Yeah. And you have a gun, and maybe you can shoot binders at someone and get. I mean, why not? It's a maze core.
It's like a net gun.
Well, I was actually thinking, like,
Okay.
if he hits the button, he loses the gun.
Right.
Throws it like the bola, and if it lands, then the binders lock onto whoever he threw it at. So it's a chance of doing that with your trick shot rather than. But then you need a backup gun.
Yeah, I would rather do that with a different gun. that we don't have yet.
Okay.
Now, what other kind of proficiencies do you have? Because you're using a small arms.
Yeah, that's all I have right now. I haven't invested any other proficiencies.
Okay.
Cool.
I
Well,
think I can use pretty much anything though right now. Anyway, but yeah.
cool.
Okay.
I'm not gonna worry about it. Just tossing ideas out there because Angus.
Angus spends the next 2 days like drawing up different ideas.
Mace cores are cool, yo. So
He really likes the spoon fork, the laser spoon fork.
amazing. But yeah,
Le spork.
I'd be working on this sort of stuff with Phaedra since while we're not brainstorming, we're actually working on creating another mace core because we just think they're awesome.
All right. Well, you get the alert that you are just a few minutes away from dropping out of the drift.
Head up.
Absco emerges from their bunker and goes up to the bridge.
Anyone else?
All hands to stations, or is everyone just kind of like,
I say all hands to stations.
I'll roll a piloting check to take us out of drift.
Go ahead. 17. Noted. The calculations run down. On the mark. Take yourself out of drift.
And we turn on our shields.
Well, the very first thing that happens is you are instantly rocked by an impact.
Not by a hurricane.
Not quite. So immediately, Angus, I'll assume you're bringing up the shields.
Mm-hmm.
You're slamming shields. You planned to do that as soon as you dropped out of drift, bring up the shields, but you got rocked.
Okay.
Ship's taking some damage. Getting rocked like that. Your port injector's offline. As you find yourself in a rapidly spinning ring, according to the sensors, of particles around this planet that has a whole bunch of moons surrounding it. But the ring is spinning extremely fast, just slamming you with debris.
Absco,
What do you
get
do?
out of here.
Absco looks to try to plot a course away.
Absco, it's going to take you several minutes to plot a course.
Absco, leave
Okay.
the course plotting to me on the computer. You just avoid stuff.
Okay, so that's what I'll do then. Is try to pilot through some of the debris. 24.
All right, 24. You are trying to pilot as best you can through this debris field. You're doing all right avoiding the bigger chunks, but the smaller to mid-sized chunks are beginning to eat through the shields.
I jump on comms. Phaedra, the shields are getting torn up. Can you do anything to help?
I'm gonna try and as we're taking damage on the shields, I would like to repair them as fast as I can.
Okay, give me your engineering check.
There we go, 27.
27. Phaedra,
Nice.
you are keeping up really, really well, but you know you can only handle a few more minutes of this. The shields are going to give.
So,
It's faster than you can keep the power routed to them.
I can only do this for so long. We need to get out of here.
Angus, how are we doing with the course?
I got a 22 on computers for plotting the course.
All right, you are trying desperately to plot a course, but the computer seems to be having some issues figuring out where you are.
Oh, right, that would make it a 24 with the computer's help. Sorry.
Absco, give me another pilot check.
Okay,
Ah,
that's a 30.
30. All right. You get a last-second proximity warning on the computer. Some very large piece of asteroid is heading right towards your aft.
shoot it.
You manage to pull up at just in the nick of time, but it still clips, momentarily breaking through your aft shields and knocking out your warp drive,
Oh no.
knocking out your drift drive.
No.
You can see the large planet and several moons.
Is there a moon that looks suitable to land on, or is the planet is it a hard planet, like rocky planet, or is it like a gas
Habitable?
giant? Yeah.
The planet, well, that sounds like something you would ask your science officer.
I'll do a computer's check on that.
You need a physical sciences check, please.
Oh, bugger.
Or life science, I'll allow either one.
Ooh.
That's a
7,
7.
untrained.
Yeah.
Angus, all you know is that the computer seems to be highlighting 3 of the moons.
Okay. There's one highlighted in pink. Let's head to that one. And toss it up on screen. Pink is safe. Always go pink.
Captain. Opinions?
Can I do a life science check?
Yes.
Ugh.
22.
22. The computer is telling you that the 3 planets it has marked scan with breathable atmosphere and terrestrial conditions that are conducive to life.
All right, I'm gonna pick the closest one and be like, let's go there.
That one.
Can I use the computer to do a scan for any sort of technology on that planet to see if there's any civilization or anything?
Go ahead.
Cool. 18.
You hit the buttons. The computer brings back a readout, but since you have no physical science training, you're not entirely sure what the technical readout is telling you, but it doesn't seem to be giving you any kind of tech waves, any kind of energy readings.
Okay. I would
If I can get
have that file and throw it to Kira so she can know what we're getting into.
If I could get a course, I'll start making my way. Angus, do you want
Need
to
to roll
plot a
again?
course for me?
Well, do I roll that?
Absco, I'll say when you're piloting on the thrusters
Okay.
like this, you don't need a course. You're
Right.
piloting by wire with a 26.
Cool.
Then you're managing to avoid the biggest chunks and several of the medium-sized chunks. I mean, but you're getting hammered by small chunks. Phaedra, give me one more engineering.
19.
19, you're keeping the shields up. I mean, but you are running all over, just sweat pouring down you. Your fur's getting matted in sweat, just trying to keep on top of everything, put out all the leaks, put out all the fires going on in engineering. Engineering's a mess. You're getting hammered. You get rocked a few times, but Absco, you manage to get into the atmosphere just outside the ring
Okay.
of this planet. Managed to bring it in for a landing. A little bit of a rough landing, but a landing nonetheless. You find yourself on a lush, verdant planet. Large trees, lots of greenery. Seems to be rather tropical. Everyone's just like,
Yeah. Just take a moment.
I kind of swivel around in my chair like, well, this is where away is.
Where's the drift beacon in relation to where we are?
right where you poured it in.
Oh. Okay. So, is there a way to now that we're out? Oh, we landed on the planet. I was gonna say, is there a way to travel back in if we can plot a course to pick it up and move it? But we can deal with that after.
You'd have to brave the rings, which again are spinning a lot faster than rings you would usually spin around a planet. Like these are caught in some sort of gravitational anomaly that has them moving near speed of light.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We also have the problem of
Drift engine.
is a little messed up.
Yeah, let
Yep.
me go down and see if I can help Phaedra with that, about getting it back online.
While they're doing that, I think Absco would use the sensors to scan the immediate area around them.
Excellent. Computers check from you. All right, so Angus has a 22 on his engineering, and Phaedra has a nat 1, resulting in a 10. I feel like Angus goes down there and like he's trying to come up with solutions to fix this, and Phaedra is just like chewing him out at this point. Like just so upset that her drift engine is offline. The shields are beat up. Damage report, you've taken some there's some hull breaches. Minor hull breaches, but they'll need to be fixed up especially before you hit the drift.
Phaedra, well, how is this my fault? I came down to help you. I didn't come down to get yelled at. The drift engine's offline. We have to fix it. Why are you yelling at me?
Look, I wanted to go to Absalom Station. The mission is to go to Absalom Station, and where are we? We don't know.
Well, did I
And now,
in?
this is broken, that's on fire. Oh shit, that's on fire. Run over and...
Absco, meanwhile, you are taking scans of the planet. Nice oxygen-nitrogen mix atmosphere. Very breathable. Temperatures are tropical, but bearable. Well within habitable zone. No signs of intelligent life. Plenty of fauna. Plenty of flora. Lots of flora. All kinds of flowers and trees and stuff.
Neat.
And no sign of any kind of intelligent species that you can tell.
Well, this could take a while. Captain, I think we are in a perfect spot for a vacation.
Well, you're not wrong. Okay, so I don't even know. After they land,
No, they landed, okay?
I was dragged. So I assume that Kira goes and puts on clothes.
For the first time in 4 days.
Yes. Because it's been a rough time. And she is going to leave. She's going to step outside.
Oh.
All right.
I imagine Absco would probably go with her if her demeanor wasn't, I'm going to kill you.
In the true spirit of Desna the Explorer and PCs everywhere, she goes, open the doors, step out, see what's out there.
And split the party.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Phaedra and I still arguing in the engine room, trying to get things
Okay.
fixed.
It's not like I'm...
The doors open up and you can hear the wildlife. You get a sort of sweet smell from all the different flowers and fruits that are growing around there. It's quite a lovely place.
There's something wrong. There's something wrong.
There's no sangria. That's what's wrong.
Besides that, there's got to be something wrong.
You're in a clearing, short ways away from where some jungle really gets thick.
Okay.
You can see a short little bit of like plains leading up to a mountain range. The local star shines brightly overhead.
Well,
You can see the large planet and two of the other moons in the sky.
I think if we're going to get off of this planet, we should probably find out what's damaged and what we need to fix it. If I could suggest that.
That's probably a good idea, but I'm not really mechanical, so I'm gonna leave that to y'all.
Absco sighs, goes back on the ship, and reluctantly goes to face Phaedra and Angus.
You walk in on chaos. Like, both of us are working and like
And yelling at each other.
oh yeah, like we're almost like brother and sister squabbling. Like, it's your fault this is broken. No, it's your fault it's broken. We all know it's your fault we're here though. And we're just arguing with each other because you're not here.
And then Absco walks in, and I turn to see who it is, because it could be Captain, could be George, could be Absco. And I turn around, it's Absco. You!
Absco looks and then kind of blinks and then says, "Is that supposed to be leaking?"
Oh my god.
Oh, I've got this, Phaedra. You keep going. And I just go over and start working on it.
Where is this? Where are we? What is that ring? What was hitting us?
A, rocks. B, this is a jungle planet. C, there's no sangria. D, we probably need to know what we need to fix before we can get out of here.
The bloody drift drive.
Look around. Everything. Like, this is broken. That's on fire again. That's leaking. But Angus is working on that. Shit, that's on fire again. And run over and take care of that.
Okay, I see that you all are busy. I'm gonna go and check on George, make sure he's okay.
Nope, you're staying here and helping.
Absco looks left, looks right. Is there a computer terminal they can use?
Sure, you can run a diagnostic.
All right, that's what they're gonna do. That's a 23.
A 23. You've got most of the supplies on board to fix most stuff. You're going through, looking at it, and the computer with the AI is already figuring out repair routines and setting up a repair schedule as you're running your diagnostic, and then it begins flashing red.
Oh no.
Your jump coil is completely fused.
Turn
So
over,
there's
look
some-
at the screen. Oh my god, now what did you do?
No, I didn't do anything. There is some good news and then there's some bad news. The good news is...
Bad news first.
The good news is we can fix almost everything. The bad news is the coil thingy is fused.
The coil thingy? What, the coil thingy? I'm gonna walk over, put on like this like tiny pair of glasses. And
The drift, specifically the drift in the interplanar inversion coil has been completely fused and will need to be replaced. You do not have a spare.
I
So
gathered that.
we worked about a week ago to get this drift engine, and it seems it had a faulty part. Who knew?
We have to find a new beryllium spear. Wait.
Captain Kira, what are you doing? Just walking around outside?
Yeah, but like she's staying close to the ship here.
Okay.
But she's
Do you
she's
have your
outside.
spear with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's nice fragrant grasses, a warm breeze. It's hot, but like sauna hot.
All right.
Birds with beautiful plumage. This is just a gorgeous place to be.
She lays in the grass and waits for everyone else to get out of the ship because they gotta.
George comes and lays in the grass with you.
Perfect. And she's just waiting for everyone else.
Once we're sure that nothing else is going to spontaneously catch fire again, maybe we should take a breather and come up with a plan. Or, this place is hospitable. Maybe we just repopulate here.
I don't think so.
We need to find this coil. Take one more like a look around, make sure nothing's still on fire.
Absco kind of looks at the both of them and...
Phaedra, give me an engineering check real quick.
45.
The lights flicker in the ship for just a second. You look around, you know instantly something is off with that, the way they flickered, and looking at the readout panel, you're finding some disturbances in your circuitry.
Okay, oh my god. And now the wiring's gone to shit. What would have happened? What would have happened if we didn't come here? Like, just taking notes on the things that we need to fix, things we need to find. Is there an easy way to fix whatever's going on with the circuitry?
You're not sure exactly what's going on with the circuitry.
Can I also do an engineering check?
Yes.
16? Perhaps.
Angus, you're even less certain of what's going on with it. Maybe it's just a bug. Maybe it was just a glitch. I mean, systems are glitching all over the ship.
True. So I'll just keep working on what I was working on.
So repairs continue. Kira, despite how much you think this is going to go terribly, nothing bad happens to you. Sun begins to set. The evening is cool, not cold, nice and cool. There are dozens of different bugs that glow as they fly through the sky. You realize a couple of the birds have bioluminescent feathers.
Absco looks at the other engineers and says, we probably need to regroup and come up with a plan.
Did Phaedra mention what she saw when she got her suspicion that the light flickering wasn't good?
She looked at it and she's like, and now the electrical grid is going offline.
So, is that something that you and I want to work on for a while? Or do you want to just keep working on the other stuff we're doing? What are we doing? Because you're the engineer, so you're directing the workflow.
I think...
Kira, give me a perception check.
I think that we should investigate a little bit more on, like, the circuitry.
24.
And that,
As you're walking up to the ship, you see that the underside seems to be getting covered in this kind of white, wispy, fungus-looking thing.
Front row.
Okay, so I take out my comm, and I'm calling Phaedra. Can I do a life science check to see if I like can figure out what this is?
Sure.
Natural 20.
Natural 20 for 28. All right. This is definitely some sort of exo life form, it would seem. Perhaps a plant, perhaps something that you are unable to classify as you normally would. But I think your parents did some exobiology, didn't they?
Yeah.
So, yeah, you kind of look it over, and you're getting close and well, not too close, but taking a look. You would guess that it is some sort of fungal-based life form.
Is it eating the ship? Is that
You
what
don't
it's
see any of the ship being removed.
trying to do? Okay.
I thought you were gonna say you don't see
But
it.
as you look closer, you see that it seems to be actually going into a couple of the breaches
Okay.
in the ship, some of the small hull breaches.
So yeah, I'm calling Phaedra.
I pick up. Yes, Captain.
Yeah, so there's some stuff like getting into the ship.
What do you mean stuff, and what do you mean getting into the ship?
Maybe you should come out here and look.
Fine. I'm gonna run outside.
And there stands Kira and George poking at this white, wispy, fungus-looking thing that it's just kind of taken over the outer bottom hull.
Phaedra's gonna stand there and just mouth open and just like, what the hell is that? And why is it in and around the ship?
Where's Absco? Maybe you can spit at it.
Yeah, Absco, as you've spent time in your room, like you started feeling like you have something kind of like stuck in your throat a little bit. It's a very odd sensation.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like you have a piece of food that's just sitting there in your throat.
Okay.
Like, I'm gonna
I guess the
call Absco.
hello.
Can you come outside, please? I could, like, you can hear like my voice like shaky and like it cracks. I'm so mad.
You can hear Kira in the background. We need your spit.
Not the first time. Okay.
Okay.
And yeah, Absco goes outside.
Okay. And you see the same thing. This wispy, white, fungus-looking thing that is just all around the bottom of the ship hull.
And so you want me to test my dragon gland out on this thing that is going into our ship, something I haven't tested yet, and so I don't know whether fire is going to come out or acid.
Yeah.
Okay, well then shoot it that way first for a little test.
No, we can't waste it like that.
Well,
Yeah, shoot it at it. Just do it.
Okay, Captain.
What
Says
else
the
could go
captain.
wrong?
Okay, was it fire and acid or fire and cold?
Fire and acid.
Okay. All right.
And it's
You activate your dragon gland.
3d6. I would be trying for fire.
Well, you got fire. I secretly rolled a d2. You got fire. And do 8 damage. Your fire blasts forth from your mouth. You hear what sounds almost like a scream as your fire touches this fungus. And then the fungus is just growing madly all over the ship. Growing, encompassing the ship. And then it seems to be receding. Give me perception checks.
Oh, guys, what did we do?
27.
Ooh.
Phaedra.
14.
Phaedra, you're like, thank God something's finally done, you know? Except that Absco and Kira see that the fungus is instead flooding into all of the hull breaches on your ship.
Oh, well.
Maybe they want to help.
Angus,
Yes.
the power goes mad. Lights are blinking, things are turning on and off. Just, it's insane.
I immediately assume it has something to do with the engine issues we've been having and start shutting off systems that are non-essential, just cutting power wherever I can.
Okay, give me an engineering check. 15, all right. You begin shutting down as many systems as you can, just trying to pinpoint where this fluctuation is coming from. There's power surges and breakers are popping, and eventually you get everything shut down, but there's been even more damage to the grid.
Awesome. I get on the comms to Phaedra, and Phaedra, everything is going crazy in here. I think we're going to have to go through this ship, inch by inch to figure out what the hell is going on.
And so I don't know that it's going into the ship.
You don't notice.
Well, what do you mean that things are... We have to go through the ship inch by inch, like we're getting rid of the, well, stuff
Well,
out here?
I don't know. Everything just started going crazy with systems, going on and off, and everything, fuses popping, and everything's just going crazy. I've been shutting down everything, so it's not, power's not flooding everywhere, but we've obviously got an issue somewhere.
I'm
Several
gonna run
somewhere
inside.
from what I'm seeing.
and look around. Do I see anything new?
You see that currently all systems are offline. Somebody has shut down all of the power running to all of the systems.
Angus, did you turn the power off?
Aye.
Oh, okay. Whew. Okay, well, so that's normal.
I would not recommend turning it back on, though.
All right, I'm coming down. And I go down to where Angus is.
Down to engineering.
So, basically, right now, I'm just focusing on getting all the broken shit put back together, so that we can then methodically go through and try to clean out whatever's going on. Because
So what are Kira and Absco doing? Sorry, I feel like I jumped in and interrupted you.
that's cool.
My bad. You said because...
Oh, I was just going to say because if we turn the power on, then that could start blowing more systems. So we need to be able to go system by system slowly to be able to fix whatever the issue is.
Kira and Absco, yeah.
Yeah, I get on the comms with both Angus and Phaedra, and I'm like, is there any piece of technology we don't mind losing? I want to test something. I saw the white stuff go in through the hull breaches, and maybe that's impacting on our systems. Maybe we can leach them out through another piece of equipment.
I'm sure we could cobble together something. Phaedra,
The-
do we have anything extra in engineering we can get rid of?
Yeah, you got some spare parts.
I was like, I don't know.
I mean, I have a spare battery you can affix to something.
Cool. Well,
Let's make like a potato clock and then feed it to whatever this thing is.
Yeah, so I go in the ship and, get whatever they were able to come up with and go out and I find a stream of the white things and I put it, like, underneath it.
There's no sign of it by this point.
Oh, they're all in the ship?
They're all somewhere. You saw, it seemed like they were getting sucked into the small breaches in the hull. At least the ones you saw, but you don't know where they came from.
Okay, so if they're in the hull, I would like to go to. Like, I imagine that it's like steel plate paneling inside. I would like to pull some of the paneling off.
Okay.
are you doing this by yourself? Are you talking to me about it? What are you doing?
Phaedra's thinking out loud. Like, so he said that there's white stuff in the hull breaches and should be in the hull. I mean, and technically it would be all around us. So maybe if I just rip some of this down and try and grab some of the plating and pull it off the wall.
What are you? We're trying to repair. Oh my gosh, we're trying to repair stuff, not destroy it. And I hand.
Roll me a perception check.
I hand you some tools.
Phaedra's trying to catch it unawares.
Haha, 10.
10 for just a second. As you rip it off, you see what looks like stuff just kind of retreating from the open area, deeper into the hull.
While I'm outside, I go to the captain and George and I say, maybe we should look around and try to find another example of this creature that came up and see if we can analyze it.
All right, so at this point, it is sundown, basically. You've got several hours of dark. So what do you want to do at this point?
I also feel like we shouldn't sleep inside the ship tonight.
Hmm.
Just in case. I feel like someone should, but we've got George for that.
Oh, poor George.
I want to roll a culture check to see if I've ever heard of anything like this happening.
Okay.
That's a 22.
You are certain you have not.
Yeah, I don't know what the right thing is to do here. My instinct is just to stay on the ship while we wait for the light to come and maybe catch a couple of hours.
All right. I mean, that's fine with me.
So I think once Phaedra started talking about stuff coming in through the holes in the ship, I would transition from working on the interior to going outside to try and prevent more stuff from coming in. Because
Okay. How long are you going to work?
I would probably work for about 3 or 4 hours, starting at the base of the ship and patching whatever holes I can. And I still have the Starship repair kit, whatever good that does me.
Okay. You begin patching up holes in the ship. You see no sign of what you saw earlier, but
Well,
yeah,
I
you
haven't
spend
seen
several
any
hours
of it,
patching
so-
up holes. Oh yeah, no, you see no sign of whatever the hell they're talking about.
Right. So I'm leaving them to deal with whatever they saw, but I'm, Just trying to
Okay.
stop more of whatever it is getting in the ship.
Yep. All right. And then everyone gets some sleep, and you decide you're sleeping on the ship. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I would think that's best. At least we kind of know what we're getting ourselves into.
Well, whatever this fungus is going to steal our ship and fly away with it.
Well, you wake up the next morning with the launch thrusters going off, and the ship is just kind of wobbling around. You would almost say it's stumbling.
Uh-oh.
What is happening? Are we going somewhere else random?
Before it lurches,
All right in front of you.
it lurches hard and like hits its side and falls to the ground.
All right. Well, if you're all here, then who is driving the ship?
Make a beeline for the bridge. See what we can do. Turn it off.
Yeah, I try to turn off any of the piloting, like the engines, from where I'm at.
As a reminder, when you went to bed last night, you had no power.
That's true.
Power systems are operational again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're trying to shut them off again.
Yep. You shut it all down. You're able to get in there and shut things down.
Okay.
I want to do a computer's check to check the systems.
Okay.
Has anything changed since yesterday?
Your computers are running slow, so you do what you would do: Control-Alt-Delete. And you realize that your AI program is using up a lot of processing power.
Can I do a survival check to see if I can figure out what the hell is going on?
Go ahead. 9, you have no idea.
That's about right.
I try to interact with the AI. I'm like, you doing okay, brah?
That sounds like Absco.
The AI, you can hear it. The AI chip, just this high pitch, as it's just going, and finally a message pops up on screen. I am Bra.
No.
No.
And on that note,
No.
I think that's where we end for the day. So thank you everyone for tuning in. For experience points, I am Miyu. You can catch me on Twitter and Twitch at Miyu Plays Games.
I'm Kelric. You can find me on Twitter at EQPoints and at Cormelon.
I'm Taylor. You can find me on Twitter at Milky Games.
I'm Megan. You can find me on Twitter at Dungeons and Meg or Tumblr at Tiefling.
I am Punder, and you can find me on Twitter at PunderDrone.
And we'll catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.